Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel, LifeSnapShot. Evelyn, Greg and Muttley here from Australia. Before we start getting into what I want to talk about today, I want to do a quick recap, so to speak, about this channel and where we're thinking of going with it. Of course, first of all, I want to thank everybody for supporting. I really don't get why people are watching us or anything. I have no idea where this was going to go. And we had a couple of videos that went really well. One was cost of living in Australia. Another one Evelyn did, which was just her showing the bullet train when we were standing on the station at Japan. And it took off. But out of those two videos, I don't think we got many subscribers out of the bullet train one. We got a lot of views. But the one with the cost of living I was talking about, it took off and the subs started coming. So I appreciate the support and everything. But what I'm trying to say is we didn't know when we first opened this channel where we're going to go, what we're going to talk about. Whether it was going to be successful or not really wasn't something that we thought about. But one thing's for sure, I wanted to keep it real. I want to keep things honest, real. When I talk about costs of living, when I talk about how to save money or things that I've done through my life, it's real. It's what I have done. And I always say to people, please comment and everything, because I feel that's what's lacking when it comes to these subjects like costs of living and how to save money and stuff like that, that there's not enough discussion. People are very quick to not talk about because it's personal. And I think our attitudes, especially as Australians, we used to, try to help each other out. It's not so much now. So that's the bottom line when it comes to this channel, is that I want to keep it real. And what I say is my life. I've had some comments. People are like, "Whoa, you're getting a little bit personal and stuff like that, and you shouldn't really." Well, I've got nothing to hide here. If someone was to do something silly to me, I don't know why someone would want to do that or wanted to come here and do something bad to me because they find out where I live or whatever or something like that. Good luck, because I've got a 42 kilo American staffy. I've got security measures in place. I'll just leave it at that, because there's a couple of comments there that, someone finds out where you live. Well, so what also I want to say is I want good, positive comments left down below. But if someone was to be negative, there's nothing you can do about it, right? You can't get away from it. There's always someone who's, well, you don't know what you're talking about, or, one of my videos was, we're thinking about moving from Australia because, I don't like forking out all this money and not even getting bang for my buck. I'm okay with forking out money if I'm getting bang for my buck. So a couple of people were like, well, just pack your bags and go. Like, all right, okay, that's my point. I am doing that. It's not affecting you. If you want to leave a negative comment, fine. I'm not going to delete it, okay? I would much rather people be positive and you talk amongst each other and help each other out. And that's basically it, That's what I'm trying to say. I'm keeping it real, and hopefully someone gets some sort of benefit or looks at it and goes, you know what, I haven't tried that. I'll try it. And maybe it helps them out. So anyway, but today I want to talk about insurance, particularly house insurance. Now, I want to try and explain something here. For the last couple of years, we have been wondering, let's go first car insurance, okay? I'll go around the world to come back to the home insurance, but I want to talk about something that's it's kind of linked to it, which is my car insurance. I've got a truck out there. It's probably worth about 35 grand. That's what it's insured for anyway. Okay, it's about going on 6 years old now. It's 2019, Colorado. And I'm forking out all this money, $1,200 or whatever it was a year. There's a couple of unique factors that probably most people aren't in this situation. And what I did was, and including my house, all my insurances was under my mother's name. So because she was like 80 whatever, like through the years, she got a really great deal because she was an NRMA member for like 60 years. And so I used to put, even my houses that I own, I would put them in mum's name so that we could get everything cheaper. And even to the point where, we had free rego on the truck because it's in her name, and she's, mum didn't qualify as a pensioner to get the pension, but she did qualify for like free rego and stuff like that. Mum, didn't had too much money, so she never ever was qualified for the pension, and rightly so. I'm not saying anything about that. So I got a unique situation here. My mother passed away in 2023, and since then we've been going through a huge estate situation where you got to go through 12 months of probate, where if anybody wants to come forward and challenge the will, that's Australian law. There's nothing you can do about that. So in late November 2023, mum passed away. So we had to redo the insurance. So we just did that. I was always power of attorney anyway when mum was still alive. So I had control over all the finances. And so, if I rang any of the insurance companies, my name was listed on the policy as being the power of attorney. So, last year we're still going through probate. So all these insurances were still in my mother's name, even though the houses are mine. And now we've gone to the point now where everything's gone into my name. So it's sort of up in the air what's going to happen here. Now, getting back to the car insurance, I decided, you know what? I'm not going to cause an accident. My truck's not going to get stolen. I'm not that much of a inexperienced or silly driver that I'm going to cause an accident. Why do I need insurance for? It's not going to get stolen. So I decided to go for the last couple of years when mum passed away without any full comprehensive insurance. And now the truck's worth 35 grand. Now, right there, I saved myself, almost 2.5 grand over the last 2 years because I didn't put any insurance. And not to mention, I'm not a 9-to-5 I'm retired. I don't drive to and from work. So the chances of me having an accident, the chances of my vehicle being stolen, are literally zero. So I'm thinking, why do I fork out this money? So far for the last couple of years, no insurance. I'm good. Now we're thinking about taking the truck for a drive around Australia and just getting out there and seeing what's actually out in our backyard. And so I'm thinking about putting insurance back on it. And the great thing is I'm over 50 now. I'm 52. I apply for the over 50s insurance, and it's like $600 a year. So it's chicken feed, So I'm laughing there. But let's get back into the home insurance. So like I said, it's been all in mum's name up to this point because she used to get the seniors discounts and all that sort of stuff, and it's very cheap. Now I just wanted to bring up a couple of things and then watch this space, because I want to see on Monday I'm going to ring this insurance company and pretty much drop a bombshell on them saying, well, you've sent this paperwork and it's still in my mother's name. The house is now all in my name, which was always my home, but on paper we had it as mum owning it to do this. Now you've sent me this thing under mum's name. It's going to have to be put all into my name. So it looks like I'm going to have to go in and sit down. I'm not going to tell you what the insurance company is. Okay, I feel that's not fair. But what I like about this insurance company is they're still old school. They're not just online. You can go and actually go to them and sit down and talk to them. And I feel that's something more, I feel more personal, and I'm getting something more individual when it comes to, Now, just quickly, they've sent me a thing saying, first of all, your policy number's changed. Now, like I said, they're still under the impression that my mother still owns the home. Okay, so there's no reason for them to change the policy number. For me, that's a red flag straight off the bat. My mum's been a member of this company for 60 years. And after 60 years, they decided they want to change the policy number? Why? To me, that's peculiar, and I don't understand it. But anyway, that's page one. Then you've got, in the next page, you've got actually what the policy is all about. Basic thing: total premium, $1,486, right? And what that gets you is cover level, building standard. Okay, the house was built in 1985. It's brick veneer, metal roof, slope of land, flat, gentle. Building sum insured, $702,000 and 125. $702,000, 125. Well, how they come up with that bloody figure, I got no idea. You know, basics excess of $5,000. Okay, now I just want to show you what they sent me. All right, look at this. Look at this. I counted them. There's 29 bloody pages here. Right? Now I'm only on to the second page and I'm already starting to query this. This is what I'm saying, people. You need to read and look at the fine print, especially when your house insurance, mate. Because I guarantee you something in here, when I go through this whole lot, which will take me a couple of hours, there's going to be a catch. There's going to be something that benefits them and doesn't benefit me, just in case I have to claim. Now, the only reason why I'm doing home insurance is because 4 years ago, we had a massive fire here, massive bushfire, wiped out almost half the homes here. And I was just lucky that I stayed behind and we were prepared, or this house would have burnt down too. It's the only reason. If I wasn't in a bushfire prone area, I have no reason to have home insurance. I have nothing here to be stolen. No one's going to, and this is home insurance. This is not contents insurance. So it's got nothing to do with that anyway. But I guarantee no one's breaking in my house because you're going to get your ass bit by my dog, trust me, and he'll take a big chunk out of you. Yeah, there's no other reason. I'm not going to flood here or anything like that, so I don't need that type of cover. But because of that bushfire 4 years ago, and now the bush is regenerated and it's ready to go poof again next summer, a small spark, we're going to have another fire here. That's the reason why I'm doing the insurance. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have insurance. What's the point of it? Honestly. But remember, everyone's different. I'm not saying don't get insurance, please. I'm just saying my individual situation, I'm only getting insurance just in case there's a bushfire and the house burns down. It's the only reason. So I'm forking out, they're saying $1,486 to be insured up to $702,125. Okay, all right. I look at my house and I think to myself, shit, yeah, I should be able to, that should be plenty of money to put this house to what I want it. Brick veneer, tin roof. Okay, all right, cool. But further down, it's got your building options benefits, accidental damage, and then it says added to policy, no. Okay, I just want to bring up this one thing. Okay, then you move a couple of pages further down, right? So your building option benefits, let's just recap that. Your building option benefits, it's got description, accidental damage, added to policy, no. So it's not there. So accidental damage on this policy as it stands, what I've just said, is not added to the policy. Accidental damage. But then I go on to the next page and it's got here, step 2, check the maximum level of cover and the events covered. Okay. And then here it's got accidental breakage. Yes. Am I missing something here? Accidental damage on this page, added to policy, no. Accidental breakage on the next page, added to the policy, yes. Look, I don't have anything. Look. All right. Accidental damage, added to policy, no. Accidental breakage, policy, yes. Right? So I'm either missing something here, and trust me, right now I'm hungover. If you see my other video, I got a little bit emotional last night with a video about my life, about personal, and I got on a few grogs. I'm trying not to drink so much this year, and last night I caved and I had, I think, about 6 bourbons, which is, most people say that's nothing. For me, it's a lot. I got a little bit emotional last night. So check out that other video if you want. It really opens up my personal side. So I'm a little bit hungover. Am I missing something here? Accidental damage added to policy, no. Accidental breakage, optional, yes. So the way I see it is accidental damage isn't added, but accidental breakage can be added. And then it says covered for accidental breakage with a fracture through the entire thickness to glass panels in fixtures, cooktops and oven, vitreous china or acrylic or fiberglass fixed shower bases, baths, spa baths, sinks, toilets, bidets and sanitary fixtures. I'm going to have to read this whole thing, and I'm going to, like I said, watch this space, because I'm calling them up on Monday. I'm going to go in and see them. I'm going to get everything redone, obviously, because they're going to say, oh yeah, it's not your mother's, not under your mother's name now. We're going to have to reboot this and start it all over again. I reckon I'm going to get a bloody shock. I reckon it's going to be double that. I reckon it's going to be around $2,500, maybe $3,000. Anyway, so yeah, guys, if you want to take some advice from this video, get your policy, get it in writing, and have a look at it. Like, look at this, look at all this. This is things that you're not covered for. This is things that you are. There is going to be something in here that's going to shock me. I guarantee it. And it'll be like this, just this tiny little part in this whole 29 pages. And as you can see, that page there, it's on the back and the front. Like, look at this. Look at this. It's, I don't want to show, you know, back, front, you know, back, front. Like, this is crazy. This is nuts. So 29 pages, back and front. Some of this, yeah. Like base premium, just quickly. Base premium is $1,088. ESL, emergency service levy, $152. GST, $124. Stamp duty, $122. Like, stamp duty and tax, double dipping. Like, GST $124 and stamp duty GST $124 and stamp duty is $122. Like, I'm just trying to say, but people, guys, look at your policy and read it thoroughly, because these insurance companies are now getting way more too savvy when it comes to not paying something out. And I'm going to sit down and say to them, listen, I don't give a shit about all this jumbo bumbo here. This is the list of things I want to be insured for. Am I insured for them? Basically, bushfire. Okay, so if a bushfire comes through here, and I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna say, you know, your way of calling a bushfire could be different to what I call it. So I'm covered for bushfire. Put yourself in the position of you're the NRM, you're the insurance person, and I say to you, am I covered for bushfire? And you say yes. And I say, hang on a second, does that mean if it's a arson bushfire? So someone lit the fire? Okay, am I still covered? Do you see where I'm going with this? Okay, you need to be very detailed. Just because they say yes, you're covered for bushfire, what happens if it's an arson? Someone who's lit the bushfire? Can the insurance company turn around and say, no, you were covered for bushfire, but only if in the event of a lightning strike, and that's how the bushfire started. You see how you got to go into detail of what it actually means? Like, for instance, the fire we had through here that wiped out almost 90 homes and 2 people passed away. Rest in peace to those people, and my condolences to the families. That fire, and I think it's still going through its legal process, was down the road from us, and at that point in time, the fire was going pretty much in the opposite direction. And someone with the capacity of an ant's brain decided that they needed to light what they said was a backburn. And what happened from there is they put a fire basically in between us and the actual fire to try and put a brake. Well, it didn't work, and the wind whipped it up, and then suddenly we went from, oh, we should be okay, the fire's going to go pretty much around us, to, oh my God, the fire's coming straight at us. And we had literally minutes to make a decision. And like I said, now, am I covered for that? Do you know what I mean? Someone who maybe in the beginning intentionally was trying to save us, gone and lit the fire under thinking it was a controlled situation, and look what happened. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to say to people. Just because you go and sit down, you say to the insurance company, oh, you know, I want to know that I'm covered for bushfire, and they say yes, Throw a few scenarios at them. Say, okay, what would happen if someone lit that fire? It was intentionally lit. An arsonist lit it. Am I still covered? Because that's a criminal act. And sometimes insurance companies won't cover you because it was a criminal act. Okay? It's like I had a tree here. We're laying here one night, and lucky wasn't the big tree, and we just heard crash right next to our bedroom window. I got up, come out, and a tree had come down, okay, and took out our pergola, all right, took out the polycarbonate thing, right? So I called the insurance company up, and they said, oh yeah, you know, you're covered, but you do realize it's an act of God. That's what they said to me. I said, an act of God? What else is insurance covered for? Why do you have insurance covered? Like, are you telling me, you know, they said you're still going to have to pay the excess, $5,000. The carbonate roofing is probably worth about $1,000. And to get someone to put it up there, well, I'll do it myself, get someone to put it up there, would maybe be another $1,000. So my excess is $5,000. So what's the point? But for them to turn around and say, oh, well, it's an act of God. It's actually, you know, you're not covered for that. You know? So, you know, the bushfire starts with lightning. Is that an act of God? And am I covered? Did you see what I'm saying? Like, so really, my advice is just to dig deep on your insurance policy, make sure you understand it, and don't be afraid to be as basically what I'm saying and admitting to is being as dumb as me, and challenge these things that seem to be pretty much the same. But on one page it says one thing, and then on the other page it kind of says something different, and you're like, huh? And even though it's probably because I'm just dumb and I'm just like reading it wrong, I don't mind. I don't mind standing there in front of someone and saying, well, I'm stupid. You explain this to me. And most of the time I feel you can catch them out. So anyway, I hope that helps some guys out. Look at this, storm surge or tsunami. We're covered. Like, of course, because the chances of a tsunami are 1 in a billion. But also the chances of a lightning strike hitting a tree and it falling down is also 1 in a billion. But they were like, well, you know, that's an act of God, so you're going to have to pay your excess and all that sort of stuff. We're not, you know, we're not covering that. You know what I mean? That's the clauses they have in these 29 pages of saying, hang on, you think that you're insured for this stuff, and suddenly you're not, because they can say it's an act of God, or like I said with the other example, an arsonist started this fire. You're not. That's a criminal act. You're not covered for that, or something like this. So get your policy, check it out, and don't be afraid to ask questions. And even start with, I feel, one of these companies where you can go and sit down and talk to them and get a feel for what's going on here. Because, mate, you think about it, it's your biggest asset, you know? And house prices are just keep going up. So, mate, before you know it, you're going to be owning a $1.5–2 million home. And if you're underinsured, which I know a couple of friends of mine were underinsured, then you're even really screwed. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people would check this and they'd like 700 grand. That's not a lot of money these days to replace a whole house. So make sure that what you're paying for and what you're building some insured amount is going to actually cover, just in case in the unfortunate event something does happen and you need to rebuild your home. I hope that helps out. Everybody, just keep watching this space. We're trying to do, like I said, we don't know where this channel's going, but we hope that the realness of it and my situations in life help you out, and you take it as some advice that you can use. But like always, I'm no expert. I'm just a guy who's lived through it and done it. That's it. So you know, don't look at me as a professional. That you need to go do yourself. Like I said, go and talk to your insurance company and talk to them about it. What I say and pretty much what your situation is, my advice might be hopeless to you, you know. So just hey, it might just hopefully just sparks you to go, you know what, I'll go and check that out. Like Greg said that, I'll go and check it out and I'll go and see actually what am I covered for? Because you're gonna be the one who's dotted the I's and crossed the T's and gone, and you can sleep at night going, okay, I'm good. You know, whereas most people probably just get online and just go, oh yeah, I'm insured for that amount, no worries, that's how much I think, blah blah. You read the fine print, and in here there's things that they can say, hang on, no, you weren't covered for that. So just remember that. All right, all the best, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support. Chuck a comment, do all that sort of stuff. Take care. Look out for the next one. I've got a couple of videos coming up from our time at Hong Kong. We just got back, which was really, really cool, really, really eye-opener. So all the best. Thanks, and always stay happy, stay healthy. I'm out. Bye.